Hello everybody, my name is Suman Dua. I'm a registered migration agent based in Brisbane, Australia. First of all, I would like to thank you all for subscribing to our channel and also leaving comments. Sorry I haven't been able to reply to all the comments, but in this video today I will try and answer some of the most common questions that I've been getting in the comments. So the first question I have got here from Kazim. When and how are they planning to clear the on-hand applications for 189, 190 and 491, especially offshore? So Kazim, what I've done is I have actually attached the report that was published on Department of Home Affairs website. So it is a report under the Freedom of Information request, where they have advised that how many visas were granted to offshore applicants. So you can go through that report, but just a little summary that, I think less than 100 applicants were granted visas in the month of July and September recently, and most of the occupations which have been granted visas are critical workers like engineers and health professionals. So if you are somebody who has already lodged the visa and waiting for a grant and do not fall under the critical sector, then you will expect some delays. So the processing will be delayed. But if you are somebody who falls under the critical sector, then there is a possibility that your application may get picked up shortly. Okay, next question I've got from Rehab. When overseas applicants can apply for Australian PR visa 190 or 491? I think you mean that when will the overseas applicants get invited. So there is no ban on lodging the EOIs as such. You can still lodge your expression of interest through the skill select system for 189, 190 or 491 visa subclasses. But there is a possibility that it may not get picked up this financial year, but you can still lodge it, and if in the meantime your points increase, you can keep updating your EOIs. But unless you fall under the critical sector, your EOI may not get picked up this financial year, because as per the federal budget announcement, the focus will only be on the onshore applicants. So you can still be in the system, but it's just that you may have to wait a bit longer before you receive the invite. Okay, so next question I've got here from Prashant. Pathway options for accounting graduates and 485 visa holders, please. As you know, there are thousands of accounting graduates and seats are very low. That's right, Prashant. Unfortunately, this year the occupation ceiling was drastically reduced for accountants. So it was down to 1,000 seats only in the financial year. So that's the maximum number of seats that they can give to accountants. It also means that they may not actually reach that occupation ceiling. So it is also possible that not even 1,000 accountants will get invited through the 189 visa stream. So in saying that, of course, accountants will have to look at other options. So the first thing is, of course, you can still try and increase your points and look at state options, because some states do open for accountants as well, especially in the regional areas for the 491 stream, but they will ask for work experience or job offer letter and things like that. So that's something you can keep an eye on. Other thing you can do is maybe you can upskill yourself, which means try and get another skills assessment, maybe by studying another course. If you're someone who's married, maybe you can ask your spouse to study this time, and he or she can get another skills assessment, and you can plan your permanent residency pathway through the second applicant's skills assessment. You may also want to look at the small business owner stream in Queensland for 491 visa. So many of my clients have been successful in getting nomination under 491 small business owner stream, and their occupation was accountant. So that is also something you can look at. So the next question I have is from Andres. Please tell us migration trends and your predictions on future changes and requirements. So Andres, I actually made a video around the federal budget announcements and my predictions regarding the migration program planning levels. in my last video. I think it was the October 2020 immigration update, so I will put the link in the description as well. So with the migration program planning levels, of course for this year, you know, it really doesn't look good for the skilled applicants. If you are somebody who are offshore and you were looking at getting the invite sometime this year, so that may not happen. But also keep in mind that these announcements are only valid until 30th of June 2021. So what it means is that the new program planning level will be announced after that, which we will find out by maybe March or April next year. Okay, Nihar is asking state allocation for 190 in 2020 and 21. Do points matter for invitation or only critical sector and your contribution to economic recovery is enough? So that's a very good question, because this is something that we asked Victoria State Nomination Team in the recent webinar that they conducted for registered migration agents in Australia. So actually, if you fall under the critical sector, then states do not care too much about how many points you're sitting at. So even if you're sitting at low points, but you are contributing to the economic recovery of Australia or of that particular state, then you can be invited. And at the moment, Victoria is not actually going for points when they are inviting the critical workers, but they are actually looking at your occupation and your contributions. So if Victoria is doing that, my understanding would be that other states are following the same policy as well. So I know with Queensland as well, they also don't go after high points. They are looking at your occupation and your full profile. So another question I've got here is, from what date to what date this new immigration announcement would be effective? Is it till July 2022? So I think I've answered part of this question in my previous answer as well. So this, the federal budget announcement and the migration program planning level is only valid until 30th of June 2021. So on 1st July 2021, we will have a new migration program planning level. And of course, they will make a decision around this maybe in around March or April, or there is a possibility that next year's budget may also get delayed if we are still, you know, going through this pandemic. So this announcement is only valid until until June 2021. And you will look at a new program planning level from 1st July 2021, and hopefully the numbers will look a little bit better than what they are at the moment. Okay, next question I've got here is, I'm in Australia on a temporary visa and my company is willing to sponsor me. Can I apply for 482 visa? So we actually made a video recently about the 482 visa requirements. I encourage that you actually go and see that video. I will put the link in the description as well. So if you are somebody who has got 2 years of full-time work experience in your nominated occupation and you have an employer who is ready to sponsor you, then you may look at 482 visa option. If your occupation falls under a trade occupation, then in that case you may have to look at getting a skills assessment, but then, you know, there are waivers available if you have studied in Australia and things like that. So I recommend that you watch one of my other videos about 482 visa. There is also a free fact sheet that you can download at the end of the video. So you may want to go through it, and you can also get your employer to go through it if he has never sponsored anyone before. So that will provide you a lot of basic information, and if you think that you meet the minimum requirements, then please get in touch with us and we can help you with the 482 visa. Okay, Saket is asking, what is the global talent visa scope for Master of Coursework in IT graduate? So, Saket, with the Global Talent Visa program, if you are a PhD graduate, then you don't have any extra requirements on top of the minimum requirements. But if you are somebody who's done Masters by Research or Masters by Coursework, then in that case, you have got one extra requirement that you have to meet, which is that you need to have a total GPA of 80 out of 100. So if you're somebody who meets that requirement and you have done your masters in one of the target sectors, in your case you have, because you've done IT, then in that case you can lodge your EY for the Global Talent visa. Okay, next question I've got here from MD. What about offshore temporary visa holders, please? So if you are somebody who's on a 485 visa or 887 visa, then recently there were some announcements that were made around concessions for these visa holders who are currently stuck offshore. So we made a video about that one. I'll put the link in the description, so you may want to watch that video and look at the concessions. But if you're somebody who maybe was on a student visa or something like that, and your visa has expired, or you were on a 485 visa and your visa has expired and things like that, we are not sure what kind of concessions will be available, but there might be something coming up for those visa applicants as well. You may want to subscribe to our channel, and we will keep you updated if any further concessions come for the temporary visa holders. Also, regarding student visa holders can study online from offshore, and their study will be counted towards Australian study requirement. And also, if they are studying through the regional campus, they will be eligible to get those extra 5 points for regional study as well. So if there are any further concessions or announcements, we will update you through our YouTube channel. So these were all the questions that I wanted to answer today. If you have any other questions, you may want to leave them in the comments, and I will try and answer some of your most common questions in one of my other videos. To stay updated about Australia's immigration, make sure that you subscribe to our channel.